Okay, so we're now going to have a look at how to automatically fulfill orders using Oberlo. And you might have noticed that I called this lecture Automatic Fulfillment Almost with Oberlo, because while Oberlo is an amazing product and I certainly encourage you to use it, it is free after all. It is not 100% automation. There are certain things that you need to keep an eye on, and of course I'm going to be pointing those out during the course of this lecture. Now there are some key points that we need to understand. First off, Oberlo order fulfillment will only work if you used Oberlo to import the product in the first place. Okay, so remember many lectures ago now, when we automatically imported products using Oberlo, you need to use that process if you then want to use Oberlo to automatically fulfill orders. So that's exactly what I've done here. You're looking at a new product on my site, my cute French Bulldog cufflink, and I used Oberlo to directly import this to my site. And then of course I went ahead and bought it so I can show you exactly how all of this works. Now before we do have a look at the order and actually delve into Oberlo itself, there's another important thing that you need to understand. And that is that Oberlo only works with Chrome. So if you're using Firefox or Safari or some other browser, this is not going to work. So you would have to download the free Chrome browser. Now most people have Chrome, but of course not everybody does. So if you don't, you might want to consider installing it. Now with Chrome installed, what we then have to do is to add an extension. And an extension is something we just download onto the browser to increase its functionality. In this case, make it work with the Oberlo automation process. So that's the next thing we need to do. So what I want you to do is to head over to Google, and I want you to type in Chrome Web Store. And then take the first result that pops up. And you'll be taken directly to the Chrome Web Store. Now if you use Chrome, you're probably familiar with this. This is basically where you can download all kinds of extensions. Now up there in the top left hand corner, we want to type Oberlo AliExpress. Take the first result and you'll be presented with this. This is the extension we want. It's called the Oberlo AliExpress.com product importer. So we want to click on the Add to Chrome button, add the extension. And once it's installed, you get this confirmation and you are all done. Now you only have to do that once, okay? So once you've done it, that's it. We can close this and head back to the order form so we can start to see exactly how this process is going to work. So here we are, this all too familiar format now. And the only thing we need to make sure is that the payment was accepted, okay? You remember the previous lecture where I had the authorization set to manual. So I've actually had to go in and manually accept this already. But if you had set it to automatic, as I was encouraging you to do, then this would have been already done. So either way, manually accepted or done automatically, just make sure that step has occurred because we need that to happen for the synchronization to be complete with Oberlo. So with that done, we can now go to Apps and head straight to Oberlo. Now you will notice on the left-hand menu here that we have Orders 1. So if I click on that, we see the product within the Oberlo app itself, and it's from here that we're going to initiate the automated fulfillment process. We're going to look at that in a minute, but just before we do need to change some settings within this app. So we go down to Settings, and we want to go to Suppliers. And I draw your attention to this section here, AliExpress. Now what we're going to do here is when this automated process visits AliExpress, and as I say you'll see that in a moment, we want it to basically have some parameters that it can immediately work with so we don't have to keep on re-entering information. If that sounds a bit odd, it will become very clear in a moment. So what we want to do is set the default shipping method to ePacket. Now here, the override phone number, this refers to the fact that when we were making the order in the manual fulfillment process, I told you to put your own telephone number in there. So if there are any issues, that Ali would contact you. So this is where you put your own telephone number in. And then the custom note. This was the note that we put in to say that we're drop shipping and please don't include the original invoice. So please do not include the original invoice. This is a drop ship. Thank you. So with that all done, we want to save the settings. And now what we want to do is head back to that orders page. So this is where the fun starts, because when I click on that order product button, it's actually going to go through that manual process that I showed you previously automatically. I'm not going to be doing anything. So let's do exactly that. So the process goes to Ali, to my product. adds it to the cart. Takes me to the shipping information page that we saw before. Puts in my telephone number. Sets the shipping method to ePacket and includes that message. Please do not include the original invoice. This is a dropship, thank you. It did all of that. None of that. I didn't touch the keyboard, didn't touch the computer at all while that was happening. Now, before you proceed to payment, which really is the last step, do give everything a once over just to make sure it all looks great, right? I mean, typically it works extremely well and you really don't have much to worry about. And I'll sure you agree that is a big time saving. Now, the last thing obviously is to pay, and as I said before, this is a test site, so my card details aren't in there, but typically they would be, and all you would have to do is just click on confirm and pay. Now, I am going to make this payment because I want to show you the very last piece of the process. So once the order has been approved by your supplier, you'll want to come to the orders page on AliExpress in order to do the final sync with Oberlo. Now, to get to your orders page, it's simply up here in your menu, My Orders. So all I need to do now is either sync this page or sync all orders. Well, I've only got one, so I should just go with sync this page. So you see that very quickly up in the top right hand corner, it says data sync completed. Now, when we go back to Oberlo, we see things have changed. We are now in processing, but what I want to draw your attention to is this Ali number here, okay? Because that Ali number there corresponds directly with this Ali number here. So in other words, AliExpress and Oberlo are completely synced up. And what that means is you essentially have nothing left to do because everything that now happens on Ali will be talking to Oberlo, which in turn is talking to your store. So I really hope you can see the power of this because obviously if you're doing many orders, we have reduced the time to make an order from perhaps 5 to 10 minutes with the manual process to under a minute typically using this automated process. Now there is in fact still one more option with Oberlo that makes it even easier. It's called Oberlo Supply and I'm going to be talking about that in the upcoming section.